Hello, Beard Wizard family. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Beard Wizard Man, also known as Trevor on social media. Links to all of which you can find in the video description below, including ways to support this channel. Like clicking that red subscribe button and joining the Beard Wizard family. So many of you have in the recent weeks and months, especially from the Warning Army and just in general, people joining the channel, and it's great. I love it. I love all of you who have come here and decided to subscribe. Our goal by the end of the year is 3,000. We're well on our way to that. I just need a few more of you to click that red button. I think we're within 300, a little over 300 needed to reach that goal, and chances are we're going to get there. Just keep clicking that button. Also, you could find thebeardstruggle.com in the links below. I recently got the Beard Wizard cleaned up and trimmed, ready for fall shows, and it was getting a little crazy, a little out of hand. So if you want the same beard products I use on this magnificent wizard beard, check out thebeardstruggle.com. Save yourself some money using my code. All right, so sorry I didn't do a stream yesterday. I normally don't miss Mondays, but I did have to get my beard done. And when I got home, I was just exhausted, and it's still been a long couple weeks. And I've got a few more coming up, a few more shows, still training. But I'm going to do my best to give you as much content as possible, as regularly as possible, including some gaming tonight on Twitch. So make sure you stop by if you're interested in that. Today we're taking a look at Amigo the Devil. He has started dropping some recordings from the Caving In sessions on his channel, and we've already done a review of Murder at the Bingo Hall from this same session quite a while ago. He's released a few more, and I listened to them, and Cocaine and Abel is one of the better ones on that recent drop. So we're going to take a look at Cocaine and Abel from the Caving In sessions. Boy, I can't talk today. And from Amigo the Devil. We're going to pause as necessary, talk about the music, because this is a review show and we talk about music. And so if you have a problem with that, sorry. This is the show you're here for, and this is the show you're going to get. We'll talk about the music and all of that good stuff. And if you're in the live stream, say hi. If you're watching the recording, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And here we go. This is Cocaine and Abel from Amigo the Devil. Done under the Caving In sessions. Cheers.
The distance from the man that I am to the man I want to be. The time it takes to realize time is the distance I need. But I was born impatient. I was born unkind. But I refuse to believe I have to be the same person I was born when I die. 'Cause change is alright.
The thing about Amigo is, I mean, he's a good guitar player, he's a good singer, but where he excels is his songwriting. He's got a dark sense of humor, but he's got a well-defined sense of self-awareness and a poetic, quite a poetic way of delivering or writing his music. In the way this one opens, the distance from the man I am to the man I want to be is the time it takes to realize the time is the distance. And that quite literally is true, but also is, you know, everybody talks about having to walk a mile in somebody's shoes to make change, blah, blah, blah. But really, that's not, you're not having to physically go anywhere. And for him to describe that, the change from where you are to where you want to be is time. and the distance is realizing the time is the distance. And when he says that, I was born cruel, but I don't have to die the way I was born. Change is all right. Like, such a poetic delivery of such a simple concept, that I've never heard anybody else describe that way. Is what Amigo is really good for. I mean, he's got humorous songs. He's got some dark, twisted songs, some songs with a really bizarre sense of humor. But when he gets into these deeper songs and he gets into these things talking about life and death and change and being a better person, such a great way of delivering that message in those lyrics. That's what keeps drawing me back to him. I like his voice and I like his guitar playing, but it's really his songwriting that is his most defining quality that keeps drawing me back in. I absolutely love his songwriting.
The same person I was born when I die. This change is alright.
It is all right. You can change.
Change is alright. I'm not proud of all the choices I've made for a lot of my life. Following the shadow when I damn well know that behind me is the light, but I've lied to my mother.
That imagery right there too. I love how he does that. He says something so straightforward and simple, but in such a way that, the choices you've made in your life, obviously that one's, we've made poor choices, but when he says, I'm following the shadow is him because it's the light behind him. That's what I love about this. That's what I love about this song. That's what I love about his songwriting, is the way he makes such a simple concept or simple idea so visual and so poetic and so creatively worded in a way that, you just don't hear a lot of the times.
I've made people feel like hell.
I think we've all.
But I refuse to believe I have to keep being cruel, 'cause I'm a coward myself.
Yeah.
And time is not patient. No, patience takes time. Excuses will only do good if you're waiting around to die.
Yeah. I mean, that.
Everyone's born with self-worth. How easily it turns to doubt.
Yeah.
It takes letting go of what we know we can't live without.
That's one of those things that is so true in so many levels. If you think about it, we're all born with self-worth. We're all born with the idea that we are valuable, even if it's just to ourselves. It's our self-preservation. It's our will to live, because we believe we are valuable. But how quickly does that turn into self-doubt? From an artist perspective, in I'm sure this Amigo comes at this from the same or a similar way, maybe. How quickly do we go from I'm worth something, I'm valuable, to why am I worth almost 3,000 people subscribing to this channel and watching me? Why am I worth the hundreds of people who have bought my books and are reading them? Why am I worth, you question that as a creator and as an artist. Partly because you compare yourselves to other people, but because then you also realize that how different am I from anybody else, and why am I worth other people's time? And for obviously some people feel that I am, and I am so eternally grateful for that. I don't want to disparage or downplay the value or not the value, but what I feel, because people do value me enough to give me that part of their life. But you still doubt, you still have that self-doubt of why am I actually worth that? That's so relatable.
But the blood in the water, it is the blood of my brother. We both learned it didn't mean a thing. In the end, if one was thicker than the other.
More poetry.
Then I tried having faith, but I'll rot like a dove. 'Cause I've always been scared of loving someone just a little bit more than I'm loved.
Because we're all selfish.
Losing is fine. Everything is fine.
His power, and he does that in a lot of songs, when he takes his voice up to that place, that power and that passion is one of the signatures of Amigo, and at least from what I can tell, and he's so, you can hear his heart breaking in those moments, in those parts of the song. And I have to feel, or I have to believe, that a lot of what he writes, it has to be autobiographical in many respects, because there's no way you fake that. There's no, I've seen people fake that passion, and it never comes off true like it does here. When you listen to some of his other stuff, you can feel it. You can see it on his face. You can see it in his eyes. You can feel it through his voice, and it's spectacular. I love Amigo. Definitely go check out his channel. This was another great song. I love these caving in sessions too, because the sound quality, the recording quality from where they're at is so unique, is interesting. Is you get a lot of cool sound echoes and qualities and tones that you probably wouldn't get in a normal studio. You obviously wouldn't get in a normal studio. And I love it. Make sure you go subscribe to this channel, and make sure you subscribe here. Thank you so much, everybody who was here. We're starting to get back on a regular schedule. Hopefully I will start having these earlier again in the day. Training is going well. I do have shows coming up, so weekends are going to get a little wonky. And I will be at GameholeCon in the weekend of October 21st, right in that area. I'm going to be up at GameholeCon in Wisconsin, so if you're in that area, stop by and say hi. I'm going to be in Author's Alley. Make sure you subscribe here, and stop by tonight for some Tarkov Tuesday on the Twitch channel. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you all again soon. You have a great one. Much love. Bye.